Well, I'm back. This time it's a little bit different. I'm not building a guitar right now. You guys are in for a treat. I'm going to go through my Instagram feed to things that I've saved on Instagram, and I'm going to show you all fun, interesting guitars. So these are going to be guitars that are either very nice or guitars that are... I don't think I have anything on here that's not well done, but some of them are just a bit strange. So, hear me out. So right here I've got this first one. This is a Jazzmaster body done by Brown Bear Guitars. This is just to start out with something simple. I really like the color. I really like the shape. I love Jazzmasters. And I think he's done a very nice job with it. Very excited about this. Yeah, that's what he says. Cool. Anyway, there's Brown Bear Guitars. So his stuff looks really nice, but this here specifically just looked like a nice little guitar to show. Now we're getting into the funky things. This may look like your ordinary Strat style guitar, sort of super Strat style guitar, but it's not. This is a weird guitar. This here is from Strandberg Guitars from Los Angeles, California. Los Angeles, whatever. Anyway, so you might notice, for one thing, that it's got an extra string. It's a 7-stringer. But even more noticeable than that is the interesting grain, where the red kind of like fills the grain. So they have like red grain filler with black regular part. Strange. It looks really nice. Matches the hardware. That's kind of strange, having anodized hardware. Looks really nice. But the really strange part, the part you weren't expecting, is look at the frets. The frets on this, for one thing, they're fanned, so they're multi-scale frets. So there's a bigger scale length on the bass notes than there are on the treble notes. But aside from that, they're also squiggly frets. So they're true temperament frets. They're not standard straight frets. They've been somehow, and I have no sweet clue how you would do this, somehow they've been bent, and the fret slots, I can figure this part out. You do the fret slots with the CNC machine, and you don't just draw a straight line for it to cut, you draw a squiggly line for it to cut. But then you have to bend the fret wire with the tang and everything, have it stay straight up and down, but bent sideways to get it in, and then put it in, and then crown it. How do you crown them? I mean, there's those curved fret crowning files. You might be able to use one of those, or the tip of one of those. You'd be able to use a triangular file, but that'd be very difficult. All I can imagine is that they don't crown them. I mean, they probably do, because they're a nice brand. It's not that they're just some humdrum brand, but boy, it's interesting. I like it. So the point of the fan frets is to have more of a bass response on the bass notes and more of a treble response on the high notes. Basically, can't think of anything else any other way of explaining it. I'm sure there's other things people would say, but that's the main thing. It's the tone. And the point of the squiggly frets is that they're more in tune. So our fretting, standard fretting, like our as in the rest of the world, it's called just or equal temperament. So the actual notes that each fret make are equal to each other in some pattern, whatever the ratio is from one to the next. And with that, they're not as in tune, because the actual, like, as far as working together tune-wise for making an equal, like, a well-sounding song, you'll notice certain frets or certain notes sound out of tune a little bit to each other. That's because they are. Like, for example, like a major third is just slightly out of tune from itself, from what it could be if you're playing it on a fretless instrument. You can make it sound a little bit better. So these squiggly frets do that. I think it's a major third. I don't know. Whatever. Correct me if I'm wrong. Gibson USA. Now they have some interesting things. So here you have one of their little flyers they put out. Electric Bigfoot. So it's an electric guitar that looks like the Bigfoot. Sasquatch. It's a 6-string guitar, available in 3 styles. Looks like 3 colors to me, but anyway. Bigfoot, bigger price for only $19,899. You know what they say about Bigfoot? Huge tone. Oh, it just goes on. Squatch and learn. It's just, what is that? Oh, there. Yeah, 100% guaranteed. Yes, it gents. So that's just funny. They have funny stuff. You'll see a lot of things shared by them if we keep doing this show. And here we have something from Fender. I don't even follow them. I don't normally, let's change that. There we go. I don't normally share things from Fender or anything, any major companies, but I thought this was really cool that one of their builders built a Jazzmaster that's clear. It's acrylic. It's not made out of glass or anything. It's acrylic. Later on down the line, I've got some glass guitars to show you guys, but just look at this thing. Just look at it. You can see right through it. It's clear. It's cool. I may have to do one of those someday. Or maybe an epoxy guitar. Nope, low power mode. Here we go. Francis Warwick Official, if that's how you pronounce that, has a 9-string guitar here to show you guys. This thing is weird. I don't know if you call it a 9-string guitar or a 9-string bass, because the bass notes are basically a bass. But then the high notes are like guitar notes. Like, that's probably a high E. Anyway, straight fretting, no fan fretting or anything like that. It's got a really big, weird bridge. It's not that weird, I suppose, but it's big, and it's weird because it's a 9-string. Looks like 2 either big singles or mini humbuckers. A 9-string, but it's a mini humbucker. Yeah, small humbucker. Still really long. That's what it looks like to me. It is quite something. I really enjoy large numbers of strings on guitars. I don't own any like that. One day I will build one like that, but I enjoy them quite a bit. And this is definitely one that I enjoy. Just look at this. This is cool. The only thing I'd say as a complaint about this one, and I'm not criticizing it, I'm just saying is my personal preference, is the downward tilted tuners. I don't know. Maybe they'll grow on me. Headless guitars have grown on me. But they just look wrong. It just doesn't look right. Oh, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this guy's name. But just look at this. It is just a beautiful guitar. It's a classical, electric. I don't even know what else to say about it. It's classical electric, but it's kind of like when they have those electric violins that they make, like instead of having a solid body violin, they have it like carved out. You see, you can see it. It's really interesting. And this here from Barlow Guitars, they have some really interesting things. It's just a beautiful, beautiful neck that they are going to be putting into a guitar. It is nice. I like it. I like it a lot. And I like the fretboard. Just look at this. This is beautiful. This is called artistry right here. I'll have to copy that design for one of our necks that we do. It is nice. And the curl on that, just look at it. It's tight. Very, very tight. Like, wow. That's going to be a nice neck. They have some nice stuff. I'll be sharing more from them. Frank Brothers, they have some really interesting looking guitars. I'm normally not a fan of guitars with 2 cutaways where the cutaways are the same height, the same distance out. I find like symmetrical cutaway guitars. I find it to be an odd look. I don't really like it. I also don't typically like cutaways that go outwards more than inwards. I just find it kind of funny looking. Except, I suppose that's not quite true. I like it when the treble side cutaway goes outwards sometimes, but I don't really like it when the bass side one goes outwards. But these I like. I like these. They're, what do they call them? Arcades. They're nice. They're beautiful little guitars. I mean, I don't know if they're little, maybe they're huge, but I tell you, their jointer is huge. The tool that they have this thing sitting on here must be a 12-inch one, and it's nice. We have a 12-inch one, but it's not as nice as this. Anyway, just look at it. I don't even have to talk. This is just something beautiful. Just look at it. I saw in a StewMac ad at one point about their 18-to-1 gear ratio tuners, and the headstock that they had was a Frank's Brother headstock. It wasn't one of like theirs or something. It was a Frank's Brother. So obviously they get parts from StewMac, or StewMac sends them parts to use as advertisement. That could be. And I find these triangular shaped volutes, like you can see right here, I find those really interesting looking, and I just wonder how people get it so clean. It's like that would take a lot of skill to get that clean. There, that's just beautiful. And the last one for today, millimetric instruments. I like how they always have measuring devices in behind their instruments and their pictures, just because they have like basically have millimeter in their name. It's interesting. Oh, I never liked this one. I like it now. Just look at this. It's just a beautiful little bass. I've also never really thought of myself or came to see instruments that the cutaways are more straight out of the neck, like perpendicular to the neck. I found it kind of odd at first, but I like it. I think it's nice. It's just different enough that it's unique. It's kind of modern. It's kind of retro. It's kind of interesting. And I'm also interested in what those pickups are, because it looks like they have some really weird pattern on them. Anyway, this is just a nice instrument to end this off with. So there you have it.